Ja Morant has quickly risen to become one of the best players in the NBA. He's a walking highlight reel while leading his Grizzlies to the 2nd seed this season. But he always wasn't like this since he was a hidden gem until college. Going from all of his hard work with his dad in the backyard to turning the Grizzlies around, this is the rise of Ja Morant. Ja came from humble beginnings, coming from the small town of Dalzell in South Carolina. His dad, T. Morant, was always passionate about the game of basketball, even being teammates with Ray Allen at Claflin. He was even ready to play basketball overseas, but then Ja was born. T had to give up his dreams of basketball but was determined to raise a monster on the court for his son. Ja trained in his backyard, famously hopping over tires to develop his insane 44-inch vertical. He even became AAU teammates with Zion Williamson, who ended up becoming the first overall pick in the 2019 NBA draft just before Morant. He ended up going to Crestwood High School in Sumter, showcasing some of his talents there. He grew to 6 feet tall and is the all-time leading scorer at Crestwood. But a surprising fact is that Ja couldn't even dunk until his senior season in high school.
Damn, that's crazy.
In his last 2 years at Crestwood, he averaged an impressive 27 points per game, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists. But Ja was never highly recruited out of high school either. But Murray State assistant coach James Kane was just getting a snack and saw Ja playing a 3-on-3. Kane was incredibly impressed and called up head coach Matt McMahon, who gave Morant a scholarship that he eventually accepted. Ja debuted at Murray State on November 10, 2017, putting up 7 points and 11 assists in a W. He had a solid freshman season, averaging 12.7 points per game, 6.5 rebounds, and 6.3 assists a game. He earned first team All-OVC and made the NCAA tournament, where Murray State would fall to West Virginia 68-85. After his freshman year, Ja was selected to Chris Paul's elite guard camp, which only 20 dudes were invited to. In his sophomore year, Morant exploded onto the scene, becoming one of the best recruits in the whole country. He broke several Murray State records and averaged 20 plus points and 10 plus assists a game, being the first dude in NCAA history to do that. He averaged 24.5 points per game, 5.7 rebounds, 10 assists, and 1.8 steals a game. Ja was named the OVC Player of the Year and made the NCAA tournament for the 2nd time in a row. In the first round, he led Murray State to a win over Marquette 83-64, posting a triple-double of 17 points, 11 rebounds, and 16 assists. In the second round, Murray State lost to Florida State, but Ja performed amazingly with a 28-point outing. Ja's college career was really impressive, and he was projected to be a top 2 pick in the 2019 NBA draft right next to Zion Williamson. So, after the end of his collegiate career, Ja announced that he would declare for the 2019 NBA draft. At the 2019 NBA draft, Ja sat in his seat waiting to be drafted by an NBA team. At first went his old AAU teammate Zion Williamson to the New Orleans Pelicans. And right after, Ja was drafted number 2 overall by the Memphis Grizzlies. The Grizzlies were a young, promising team that gave Ja the keys to the throne straight away. Morant performed as a 2nd overall pick, becoming the leader of the team and bringing a new energy to the city of Memphis. He came in with incredible finishing ability, almost getting the greatest poster of all time on Kevin Love. In the 2020 season, Ja averaged a nice 17.8 points per game, 3.9 rebounds, and 7.3 assists with an efficient 48-34-78 splits. His impact was immediately felt on the team, and he developed a great combo with big man Jaren Jackson Jr. In his rookie season, Memphis exceeded all expectations, barely missing out the playoffs after losing to the Portland Trail Blazers in the play-in game. But even though they didn't make the playoffs, the Grizzlies were projected to be a bottom 5 team in the whole league and just be trash. And Ja ended up winning Rookie of the Year over guys like Kendrick Nunn and Zion Williamson. Things were looking good as Ja entered his 2nd season in the NBA. Ja entered his sophomore year with high expectations because of his great rookie season. He continued his usual production, with the Grizzlies being in an identical situation to the year prior. A lot of people claim that Ja didn't improve from his first season, but he made strides in his playmaking, scoring, and rebounding. He truly became a leader and started to get buzz as a top 10 point guard in the whole league. Ja averaged 19.1 points per game, 4 rebounds, and 7.4 assists a game, with a little step down in efficiency with 45, 30, 73 splits. He started to get a lot of fans with his flashy dunks and exciting playstyle, which Memphis had really never seen before. The Grizzlies barely squeaked out of the play-in tournament after beating the Warriors, making a matchup with the #1 seeded Jazz. Ja erupted in this series, averaging 30.2 points per game, 4.8 rebounds, and 8.2 assists a game with 49, 32, 78 splits. Ja showed he was capable of being that guy to lead your team in the biggest moments. The Grizzlies actually managed to steal a game from Utah, but the Jazz eventually won the series in 5. But a pretty good season from Ja overall. So, we're currently in Ja Morant's 3rd season in the NBA, and boy oh boy is he shattering the entire league. He has become a legitimate superstar, even being in the MVP conversation for a while this season. The Grizzlies jumped all the way to the 2nd seed in the West, with them becoming real contenders for the chip. Ja's become an amazing scorer, having a top 10 point per game average in the entire league. I swear this man's highlights are on my feed every day with him flying over someone's head. He's had a masterclass of a season, averaging 27.4 points per game, 5.7 rebounds, 6.7 assists, and 1.2 steals a game with 49, 34, 76 splits. Ja's improved his shooting overall and pulls from the logo like it's nothing.
So he's allowed to go back and get it. He's going to have to heave it. Morant! Clock down to 4. He'll pull from deep and put it in.
He's truly been a dominant player, even getting comparisons to MVP Derrick Rose, with some even going as far to say that current Ja is better. But it's been an amazing season and a culmination of all the hard work he's put in. Ja has risen from the neighborhoods of South Carolina to be one of the best young stars in the whole NBA. He wasn't even heavily recruited out of high school and made his name known in college. That's when Ja broke out and cemented his name as a top player in the draft. Then he became the star of the Memphis Grizzlies and turned their entire organization around. Now he's one of the best basketball players in the entire world and emerging as a superstar. And he was also an MVP candidate earlier this season before being beaten by the 3 big men trio of Giannis, Embiid, and Jokic. If you want to see more about the MVP race, go check out this video above and see you next time.